are many things that are at the heart of Emerson School: the atmosphere, the environment, the welcome,
Hello.
the hospitality, the valuing.
Hope you have a great day.
No hint of condescending, patronising aspect of people being treated like they have an additional need. The core of the school is the unfolding of our internal possibilities of who we truly can be if someone only gives us the opportunity to blossom and to shine and celebrate. Emerson is inclusion at its finest.
Specialist schools are here to see that all young people get the chance to learn and be the best that they can be.
Specialist schools speak to the diversity in our community. Everybody in our community, no matter their ability, no matter the pace with which they learn or how they learn. And I think specialist schools are a really important part of that education landscape.
In the specialist setting, we can cater to children that need to learn differently and really benefit from individual learning programs.
To change a person's potential lot in life from being maybe a welfare recipient into a taxpayer, and to make a difference in their home, in their community, in their school, and in their place of employment.
If it wasn't for Emerson School, I wouldn't be going to TAFE, I wouldn't be going to work.
Had I not have come here, it would have definitely been a completely different world.
I think we're really lucky to have special schools like this to provide the full support.
The impact of our school and schools like us isn't just for the children, it has a huge impact for the families too.
To have our children in schools like this has been a total and utter godsend.
I'm so happy that I joined to the Emerson family.
It's changed our lives, definitely, for the better.
Thank God for Emerson. Absolutely thank God for Emerson.
Now, there are some who are saying that a specialist school is a form of segregation. I feel very sad when I hear that, because nothing could be further from the truth.
We need specialist schools. They're really important. They play a really important role in our community. We need diversity. We need inclusion. Inclusion means embracing difference. So you can't be inclusive and have a homogenous approach to life.
There is nothing more important than education. It's the foundation of our society. It needs to be valued and supported in all its forms, which includes specialist education and the regular pathways.
You need options and you need choice.
We've had many parents in the past say to us things like, my child would never get a chance to be in the netball team or in the school production or have a leadership role if they were only in a mainstream school, where numbers are very large usually.
A lot of firsts for students that have come from other schools. First time to have friends. First time to be included in games out in the yard. First time they've been happy. First time they've come home and talked about school.
The mainstream setting has let down a lot of our children once, and to put our students into a mainstream setting now would be tantamount to destroying the education of every child in the state of Victoria.
Every individual human being has something that they're good at, and Emerson is really, really good at discovering what that thing is and then building on that.
Here we can actually teach the total child, you know, we're not limited. We can actually reach into the soul of the kid and develop the whole person, and I just love it.
There is an energy, there's a vibe as you walk in the school, and it's quite infectious.
You can feel it when you walk through the door, and it's always there, and it's a constant for the students.
You can't miss it. It's undeniable. If you bottled it and you sold it, you'd become a billionaire.
It's more than just a school.
Emerson School is heaps more. Absolutely heaps more.
It's so much more. It's so much more.
Emerson School is the most amazing place in the world.
I have worked at other specialist schools as well as mainstream. Emerson is just unique.
Emerson School was established to provide for students with a mild intellectual disability. It looks at students who are having difficulties comprehending some forms of information, who may be anxious about matters, who may have anxiety in their life, and so that sort of inhibits their learning capacity.
At the moment, we're sitting at around 375 students, but we have been as high as over 400.
And it's one of the largest specialist schools in the state of Victoria.
Our mandate is to teach young people with intellectual processing difficulties, but we do also have an ID diagnosis, often goes hand in hand with an autism spectrum disorder.
Which means that they need a very stable routine and they need a very calm environment.
We also have a few students who have speech and language difficulties and also severe behaviour disorder.
And we have a number of students with a background of trauma. That's both students from conflict areas within the world or some of our students that have been born and grown up in Dandenong. There's family trauma. So both of those groups of students really need to have an environment that is sympathetic to hyperarousal because of trauma.
Some come to us with mild processing difficulties, so they find it difficult to understand and learn in the normal mainstream environment.
And if we can take those inhibiting things away, then Emerson can be a shining light.
You see those kids come in and they're withdrawn or they're upset, a lot of them got chips on their shoulders, they've failed at everything, you know. Imagine what it must be like being in a mainstream classroom and it's like everything's on fast forward, you know. I don't know if you've ever experienced that where someone's been talking and everyone else knows what they're talking about, but how come I don't get it? How come I got to wait till the aide tells me, you know? It's all that sort of wearing away at your self-esteem.
When a child believes in themselves and their ability, they shine. Every child has that, you know, and every child should be given that opportunity.
Through a specialist education system, we can give them opportunities which are tailored to their needs to ensure that they can find their own pathway to the same objective that everyone else has, which is to lead a life where they can contribute.
We need to be able to participate in things that we really love and enjoy. And we need to have more than a couple of cards in our hand of life, the poker game of life. Some people have only really poor cards and they can't play. So Emerson says, hey, we're here.
Over the years, I've heard many parents say that they wish they had decided to send their child to Emerson many years earlier because they've just seen such a change in the child's attitude and their personality and just the impact they have on the family at home too, when things are more relaxed and the child's happier.
Our children don't learn in the usual practice of a school. They have an amazing ability to learn, an amazing talent to learn, but they learn to the beat of a different drum. And that drum beat is Emerson.
Emerson School is a school that prides itself in unlocking the potential of every student.
To develop the potential within is a lot more than a motto, it's a reality here. And we're really working on developing all the skills that students need for their lives.
We do our Victorian curriculum. After extensive testing and observations, we work out which goals they need. In the curriculum, we then develop an individual learning plan.
It really focuses on their individual goals and how they are able to achieve that goal. And each parent gets one of these learning plans and we're able to see, you know, what they're working on. And it gives you such an insight into your child and how you can help them at home too.
Not only do specialist education settings provide targeted and different ways of doing education, I think they can also provide gentler social environments where children can engage with other children and young people like them. They can have peers that understand their experience. They can make social connections that hopefully stand the test of time and provide lifelong friendships, the way that we all hope to have at school. And I think that's really important, not only for educational development, I think that's really important for people's human development. We set people's social connection and sense of worth up.
Everybody wants to be validated, everyone wants to feel worthy. That's what we do here. We validate our kids. We show them that they're worthy.
So it's not just education they're learning here. They learn so many other different life skills that today's children in regular schools, they're not taught. You know, travel training, shopping.
We have chickens, we have horticulture, there's vegetables that often appear in the staff room.
We do science, we do PE, woodwork.
Music, dance, drama.
They have the opportunity to go on excursions and have incursions.
We have sports days, we have wonderful music festivals, we have plays, we have lots of cooking.
So therefore you see not just one home economics staff member, but 6. Not just one phys ed teacher and allied staff, but 7. Not just one music teacher, and some schools don't even have a music teacher. And we've got 6 dedicated people in the areas of instrumental learning and all aspects of music through to the dance and through to the performing arts.
So music literacy is very helpful in terms of social skills, and working together as a team, building confidence, but also can be helping literacy and just with the language skills too. It's getting students used to using sentences that are in the correct grammar and different syntax and different vocabulary that they're also developing, but very much working together and seeing strengths in each other too is helpful.
More importantly, I think they take an interest, and indirectly, without realising, they're learning maths and English through music.
See the rhythm of it all.
It's not just the subjects in the classroom. They get to experience so many different things.
So many different programs that you wouldn't get typically in a mainstream school.
So it's very varied here, which I love. It's great that they have that chance to try everything. And they have that opportunity here to be able to take that further and do what they love to do.
Once you gain their interest in what they can do, they take off and they just fly. They soar, they rise to the occasion, they exceed themselves, they excel in that area, and then they go, gee whiz, I can learn.
It's just phenomenal, and I couldn't see that my children in particular would have got anything near that in a regular school, and they've just done so amazing.
I don't think there's one child here that would, especially by the time they leave, wouldn't say that they're fantastic at something.
A lot of our graduates aim to be very valuable and valued members of their community. And I think that Emerson has set them up for that and has put them in a place where they can do that.
Lots of students come back to visit, and yeah, there are so many of them who are earning an income and living independently and have families and children.
John Mooney talks a lot about unlocking potential, and that's exactly what it's all about, and that's exactly what the educators at Emerson base their entire working lives on, this idea of being able to identify the potential in a young person, but more importantly, help that young person see their own potential and work to live up to it. That's an extraordinary contribution for an educational institution to have in a local community. And from my vantage point as a local MP, to see in a very real and personal sense that play out in the lives of young people across my community is nothing short of remarkable.
When I think about the history of the school, having come here first in 1985, prior to that we were Dandenong Special School, and then the name changed to a specialist setting, and we took on the name of Emerson.
Emerson was a great school before John, but then add 10 more greats onto that since John's been here.
John is an absolutely amazing human being, very intelligent, very capable. There just isn't anything he doesn't excel at, I think, and I often wonder when he ever sleeps.
John, I classify him as a principal and an entrepreneur, always out building the school and striving to get things. I guess it wasn't really until after John came that I understood that a principal can bring the whole school, because we were working under different departments, and he kind of brought us all together and he kind of shook up a few things.
He has done such spectacular things for this school. The improved learning spaces, the improved teachers, their ability to understand what these kids need is a true reflection on John and the school.
Our school used to be a school of last resort, that when you failed at everything else, you'd come here. Our fences were falling down, you know. It looked like that too, you know, and he came and he just revolutionised the outside, and Because I'd done a lot of work in Dandenong, a lot of people were ringing me up saying, what's happening at your school? And I explained to them, you think that's good, you ought to see what he's doing with the staff and the kids, you know. It wasn't just the physical, it was the culture, it was everything.
He cares about students. He cares about special education. Johnny is great in identifying people's potential. Absolutely. Not just the students, but for the staff.
John is an incredibly supportive principal. He's ready to roll up his sleeve and help in any situation. Nothing is ever too much.
John especially is an inspiring leader. You can see how passionate he is about this school and how much he wants to make a difference to these students' lives, and that inspires everyone else to want to be the same.
He absolutely believes in the worth of every human being at a very, very fundamental level. And he really believes that it is the task of every educator to unlock potential and to realise the potential in every single human being. And he has really created a very, very special environment here where we all feel valued.
He's got a heart of gold. He would do anything for anyone. He always gives the best advice. He always makes you feel like you got a sense of self-worth.
You can be a leader, but then you can be a leader, and John is miles above anyone else I've ever met in the terms of leadership, caring, compassion, commitment.
He has that really strong sense of justice for all, and it's very admirable. And everyone in the school, teachers, staff, students, we all benefit from that wonderful leadership. And we're very grateful that he did come to Emerson.
He expects nothing but the best. And with that, he expects us to expect nothing but the best. And his devotion to the kids, to the families, to the staff, is just legendary. We wouldn't have the school that we have now if it wasn't for him. He's made it a first-class learning facility.
He throws so many plates up into the air and catches them all. He's on the go all the time, but it's always for the betterment of the school, betterment of the staff, betterment of the students, and support for the parents.
John has been an incredible advocate for upgrades at the school, for anything that school community needs. John is always advocating for.
His only thoughts really are the well-being of all the students that attend here, all the students that will attend here, that haven't even dreamed of it yet. You know, their lives are going to be made so much better when they come here. He's done great things for this school.
Programs that in the Monash Krongold Clinic we consider cutting edge, science, novel programs, John's been doing those for 20 years. So for us, Emerson School is the centre of excellence for best practice. That's probably the best way to describe it. If we're sitting around as a research team with our pile of books and journals and ideas and aims and hypotheses, the test case isn't seeing how many papers were written on that. The test case is you pick up the phone to John Mooney and you say, what are you doing? What do you think about this aim and hypothesis? And John will say, yep, that works, that won't work, because he's tried it. Because Emerson is always at the cutting edge of best practice for children with disabilities.
So we don't. Emerson can be measured by its capacity to intervene and to change the course of learning and success.
My name is Bailey Milani. I have an intellectual disability. I'm a very slow learner, and it takes a while to pick up things in subjects that you're studying, and I didn't think I had too much support in the mainstream schools I went.
My name is Walid Kohli. I couldn't do anything, and I always had an aide with me. Reading, writing, maths, everything, I can't do it. I used to blow up teachers, parents, students. It was very hard at mainstream school.
When I went to Emerson School, I think there was hope that I wanted to do extremely well here.
I just really wanted to be successful and just reach my full potential and have a pathway of where you want to go in life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love everything about the school, and yeah, I'm just really proud to be here.
I did come to this school to have a look at this school, and I was like, no, I'm not coming here. You know, I had all my cousins all going to a high school. I didn't see myself that I was needed this school until I realised I did.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. How are you here visiting today?
I just thought I'd pop in.
You're just popping in to see everyone?
Just pop in to see everyone. The teachers here noticed I like business stuff. I'm a business person. So I started doing business here with the staff. We had an automotive class, and I ended up doing my own business as car wash for the teachers. And yeah, we started washing cars here. I was the boss. And then at the end of the week, everyone, like that money would go to the end of the week, we have our lunch for the class. I was doing business from back then.
Yeah, there's a business is in your blood, hey?
Yeah. Emerson School is a very, very special school to me. I feel like all the teachers are really helpful, amazing, always are going to be there for you all the way to the end, every step of the way, and to guide you and to help students reach their full potential. There's so many things you can do here, not just subjects but outside, like co-curricular activities like sport and art and woodwork, music, drama, all these things that I can offer here. I loved playing football here, played sport a lot and made so many new friends.
Memories here. We've done so much here. We've had camps, or we've gone on swim competitions. We've done a lot here, and the school's done a lot for us here.
You're working at the moment, aren't you? What are you doing for a job?
I work at Officeworks. I've started since February this year, and I'm loving it. It's a warm, supportive environment.
Very extremely independent. Like, I just managed to take care of everything by myself. Yeah, with no roommates, no company, just by myself. Living just my own vibes, I just do whatever floats my boat. I'm just forever grateful to always going to be a huge part of this Emerson School community.
And you know what, your mum would be so proud of you, Bailey. You're a wonderful young man. Big clap for Bailey, everyone.
As much as I loved the school, I wanted to leave the school too, because I wanted to start my own business. As soon as I got my license, that's it. Dad, what business are we getting into? And that's where it started. I'm very big on social media. I'm the Flavor. Haven't you heard of me on social media?
Nice to meet you. I think I've seen you on YouTube, mate.
Yes, YouTube, TikTok,
yeah, I did.
Flavor, the chicken man.
Woo! Yeah, look at that, guys. Flavor.
Chicken shop wasn't doing too well. Family business, mum and dad struggling. What should I do? So I started doing videos, like with the food, and I'll grab the food in my hand like that and show the customers, and I start dancing it and pushing it, and yeah, I just went up in the social media side of things. So I made my business triple. I've been on Channel 7 Sunrise twice. For someone who can't read or write properly. Done all right, huh?
You've done really well. It's always good when the students come back to visit. You can see what they've done with their lives, which is great.
If we could go back to school right now, I would love to come back to Emerson. I'd love it.
Later on in the night.
Mary, this is Judy Kelly.
Hi, Judy.
Hello, Mary.
I always see your letters coming
Yes.
in. Now I can put a face to the name.
Yes, thank you. My name is Judith Kelly, and I've been at Emerson School from February 1983 right down to the end of June 1989. I'm very blessed and happy and excited for being part of the Emerson School community.
How old were you when you came? How old?
I was just turned 11. Prior to today, I haven't seen the school in like a decade. Coming back here brings back a lot of memories. I miss very much having a great environment, great teachers that taught me. Some of them are no longer with us. I miss that interaction so much. And it was just a great environment and like all round. It was just, I had fun. Back those days, I had great support. Nothing's changed, but a lot of things are new.
That's right, yeah, that's right.
After I finished Emerson, I went straight to TAFE, and that transition helped me prepare for life. And then finally did a work placement at Myer, and Myer gave me the job 3 months after I finished that work placement, which was in June 1992. It was 10, then it was 15, then it was 20, then it was 25, and 30 last year. So 31 years I've been at Myer. Plus, I do voluntary work with a disability organisation called VALID with their peer action groups, which gets people with disabilities to be involved with communities.
We're very proud of you.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, we are.
If it wasn't for Emerson School, I wouldn't be going to TAFE, I wouldn't be going to work, I wouldn't be doing my voluntary work either. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for being at Emerson School.
My name is Sabia. I'm 18 years old. I have been in Emerson School since 2017. I was like 12 years old when I have been to Emerson School. I used to go to primary school. There was like problems happening. They bully me like about my disability or about how I look or stuff like that. Like they bully me that I have Tourette's, but they know I have Tourette's. People who have Tourette's, they can't control it. But we're all the same. We're not different. We're all the same. We're human beings. When I came here, Emerson School, this place makes me feel happy, peaceful, confident, and it makes me to control my emotions. They care about us and they provide our special needs. They are very lovely, very beautiful, very nice and very kind and very respectful. My teachers take care of me and other students. They do everything for us. Being at the school is like I never want to leave school, but I graduate Emerson School like this year. I'm gonna miss all the teachers, all the subjects. I'm gonna miss, of course, Mr. Mooney. He has helped me a lot. He has helped me and my family and everyone. He is my hero. Mr. Mooney is my role model. He helps me a lot. They have changed my life. Emerson School is a beautiful school I have ever been to. So I will come back and visit.
My name's Charmaine. My uncle came to Emerson back when he was younger. He's now in his 60s. I found myself coming back here in 1997 with that family history, and then had Lachlan in 2004, diagnosed with an intellectual disability. As time progressed, he went through mainstream school, didn't do so well through mainstream, and John always gave me the heads up about always having a place for Lachlan if he needs. So he was in grade 2 when he started.
It's interesting to reflect back on, your time here, and then also then you choosing this school again.
For my son,
Yeah.
strongly within my heart, I knew it was the right call to make. I didn't want him going down that path that I went through at mainstream, and you only want what's best for your kids. I went to mainstream school. In grade 3, I ended up doing 2 years and just got pushed through grades. Had an aide with me, had been bullied because I did have an aide. So times weren't that nice back at mainstream. Mum and Dad decided to pull me out back in 96, so there I was at Emerson and, it was a completely different world. It wasn't like a mainstream school. People made you feel comfortable. I felt safe. You made friends easily. It wasn't just teachers, they became a family. That's how they make you feel.
Staff were like more than just staff, like they were also friends to me.
Yeah, like family, really.
I said family earlier.
Yeah.
Being at a mainstream school and sitting there and eating your lunch by yourself as opposed to being at somewhere like Emerson and having your lunch with your friends and feeling as though you want to go to school. And that was something that I had to go through with my son. He didn't want to go to school. He didn't want to wear the school uniform because in the end his friends became his bullies, and then I decided no, it was time. It was time to speak to John and put him into a safe place where he could learn.
Welcome home.
Now he's definitely looking forward to school. That's the difference.
We're very proud of you and proud for you and all the things that are going to happen.
He thrived. Every day he was blossoming, and I went, wow, he's actually learning. Now I'm a contract cleaner, I work for myself, I set my own hours, I work by my own because I do prefer that. Something that I took away from the school, I would say learning the independence of life. So on a day-to-day basis, nothing affects my ability to learn, to be a mum, to be a wife. Every day I thank the people of Emerson. Had I not have come here, it would have definitely been a completely different world. And I'd hate to think what it would have been like.
It's very challenging at the moment because there seems to be a push to do away with specialist schools and also to have them included in mainstream.
There's a group of academics who think that special schools are bad news. We can't possibly have special schools. That's not fair on anybody.
I don't know where they're coming from. Do they have experience with people with disabilities? Have they ever walked in their shoes? Do they know how they feel? No, they don't.
I think the people that are promoting this inclusivity are forgetting about, it's a great theory, yes, but how it turns out in reality is very different for the young people concerned.
I hear from parents firsthand how that just doesn't work. And parents are often in tears on the phone to me. They have tried the mainstream and their child feels that they don't fit in. They can't cope with the work.
I think it's ignorance. I really do. You're afraid of what you don't know. And until you come to a place like this and you speak to the staff, you speak to the students, you see it for yourself, that's when you start understanding.
For children with developmental disabilities, you can't have a one shoe fits all. It's not like that. People aren't like that. We are all different. And so if you want to be inclusive, the only way to be inclusive is to treat every person, every child differently. That's when you're being inclusive. Inclusivity is not treating everybody the same. It doesn't work.
The idea of inclusion has been, I believe, misunderstood and taken in a very shallow way. Inclusion in the department at the moment means that everybody should be in the same classroom doing a variation on the same thing.
That's the catchphrase at the moment. Everybody will reasonably adjust and everybody will live happily ever after. And that is not the case.
If you look at inclusion in a broader way, it's to allow different environments to include everybody.
We therefore need our education system to be set up for human beings who are different. I'm different, I need certain things, you're different. Each individual child is different, that's just a given. We all have different genetics, different DNAs, different opportunities. And so that's what special schools are there for.
Right now, not everybody seems to realise the potential value of specialist schools. And that's just a shame to me.
There are people who have a fixation against special schools. This seems to me to be utterly and completely illogical because we accept schools that are single education schools, co-ed schools, selective schools, private schools. We have choice. We don't have one solution. Then somebody comes along and says, oh yeah, that's all right, but you can't have special schools.
For people to say, well, everybody should be at a regular school or an ordinary school or a general practice school, then you could transpose that and say, well, everybody should just go to a GP and don't worry about having a specialist.
I think we've got to see our education system as an ecosystem or a range of different ecosystems that all fulfil different needs. That diversity is important because one size fits all never works, not in education, not anywhere.
We certainly are very strong believers that there should be options and that parents should be able to choose what is the best educational setting for their child.
Because any time you have choice, it should be some democratic choice to give it a go. There are so many people who are aspiring for their children to do well.
That's their child. And I look at it from my perspective. If that was my child, I'd want the best for my child.
Everyone has a skill set, but not every setting is the best at unlocking that skill set. And that's where finding the best setting is really important, because you're providing the best possible opportunity to be able to reach in and tap into the potential that's there.
And sometimes a specialist setting may offer the best opportunities as opposed to perhaps a mainstream setting where everything is just so hard and they don't have the capacity always to do the same as their peers at the same rate. So a specialist setting can offer something really different in terms of just meeting young people's needs.
From my personal experience through mainstream school and the specialist school setting, I just found that mainstream, obviously, some of the schools, there's so many kids there. It's just overwhelming.
The difference is that your child is in a smaller classroom.
A much more settling, calm experience.
There's more individual care, there's a more individual learning program for them.
They'll have much more teacher-student interaction. The teacher will be better able to understand the needs of that child.
Children with special needs need special people to look after them, to teach them.
The curriculum is in depth, challenging, and takes the person to another level. And it's not just an activity that is virtually filling time.
Educational program that's offered at specialist school is tailored for the student. It's not tailored for a whole group to get a big group outcome when they graduate. We're really preparing them for life after school.
Especially kids with special needs or disabilities, life skills are so important to them. To be able to come to a school where they're able to focus a lot more on those life skills, on your social emotional well-being, these things to help you work towards a career. You know, here at Emerson, there's those opportunities where you can work towards a trade or to do something really important with your life. Whereas at mainstream, they wouldn't have those opportunities that they have here.
They wouldn't achieve like they do here. If they were in a normal classroom, waiting for someone to help them, after the teacher's helped another, 25 students, they're not going to get the success that they get here.
The secret of success at a specialist school has the aggregation of specialisation and curricular provision to really provide light bulb moments every day of someone saying, this is what I can do. And it's specialised and it's intensive.
In the specialist setting, we can cater to children that need to learn differently and really benefit from individual learning programs. And I think that's a major difference. And then the outcomes are so much better, I think, for the child.
It's all focusing on bringing out their abilities and their interests, whereas in comparison to the main school that's the box. You do that box and you can't branch out. So the children have just got lots of options and lots of alternatives.
Sometimes you have families that ring me that say, Janet, we've tried the mainstream. They talk about inclusivity, but it just doesn't work. And I'm hearing it firsthand from parents. And sometimes they're driven to tears because their child is so unhappy. So they come to Emerson and they see how their child blossoms.
When they came to Emerson, it was different. Suddenly they had friends. Suddenly they were invited to birthday parties. Suddenly they had real connections. They went and played at people's house in the weekend. They're no longer just included as a charitable extra. They are really valued, and that feels different. Students know that feels different, and suddenly you see their whole demeanour changes. They want to come to school.
That's what's so important about special schools, because it gives students the ability to be seen, the ability to be heard, and the ability to be acknowledged.
It's an amazingly inclusive environment, inclusive in a real way, not just on paper. Everybody is valued and everybody has an opportunity to realise their potential.
If we closed every specialist school, private, government, religious, then you need to look at the effects that that has on the development of human potential.
As a parent, it's never going to work, never. And if the education department tried to make it work, they would find on their hands a significant amount of children that would be refusing to go to school.
Without specialist schools, there's going to be a whole cohort of students who leave school feeling that they've failed. It's really a travesty, because it's going to mean that another whole generation of students are going to leave school not properly prepared, not having realised their potential, and not being able to feel valued and connected within their community.
And that would destroy them and destroy you as a parent, because you can't give your child the education that they need.
I think if special schools no longer existed, and my son we had no choice, and my son had to go to a mainstream school, I know he would not be where he is today. I would be really concerned about where my son would be if there was no special schools.
I think if they came and if they saw students, particularly if they saw them at the beginning when they arrived, and then came back even 1 month later, they would realise that that's just not right. It's just not right.
So definitely we need schools like this to be able to give parents that choice and not feel like they have to send them somewhere where they know their child will not cope.
If people decided that specialist schools were not important for our children, I would say you're dreaming. Without these types of schools, our children will be left behind.
Our children are productive members of society now, and that is what they should be. Everyone has the right to a job and to work and to earn and to be a productive member of society, and our children deserve that right too.
You know, John is very passionate about specialist schools and the need for choices. And I think that is so 100% true. We need the choices.
We should never be in the business of closing down educational options, of closing down choice. It's really important that we offer local families and young people the choice of being in settings that present the best possible opportunity for them to be unlocking their potential.
For some of my patients who couldn't cope in mainstream school, going to special school saved their life. Saved their life. Some of these kids went from socially excluded, depressed, wanting to give up on their education, not knowing that there was an option to go to special school. They went to special school and they are the happiest people I've ever met. I don't know what we would have done for this young person had they not had that option. It changed their life.
We need different choices. We need people to go this way, we need people to go that way, and that mightn't be the right way for that person, but that's right, we'll come back and we'll go that way. We've got to have those opportunities to bring the best out of everybody. You can't tell me you can bring the best out of everybody by saying, oh, obviously special schools are no good.
You need options and you need choice. I'm so pleased to be a person that has encouraged that democratic right, and long may it be that way.
Our children's behaviour is there 24/7. It doesn't just switch on at 5 to 9 when the bell goes and switch off at 3 o'clock. It's there 24/7. There is just some part of their brain that does not connect and will never connect, and all the specialists in the world can't give you an answer as to why your child does that.
I remember obviously the anxiety that you feel. You feel that your child maybe is never going to, you know, flourish or grow or learn, or you just have a lot of anxiety.
It was a huge shock when all these testings came back and said this and that, and it was staring me in the face. But as a parent, you didn't want to acknowledge it.
At first, I ignored special school. I thought that mainstream school is best for Eugene.
No parent wants their child to be in a specialist school, you know, and that's kind of a deep-rooted thing from way long ago. It's not like that these days.
I didn't want my son to be lost in the education system, and so a special school of this calibre worked wonders for him.
When I accepted, you know, that my son needed something different, a different way of being educated, was when everything changed.
I love the way you bring me to life.
When you fall pregnant, you think, oh yeah, this is wonderful. And then they hand you this baby, and off you go, go home now, off you go, everything's perfect. You know, they hand you the perfect child.
So carry me where you like.
But then as that child grows up, you look at it and you think, oh, there's something wrong there. And you can start saying to your doctor or your maternal health nurse, you know, there's something not quite right. I've had specialists tell me, oh, you know, you're a first-time mother, you don't know what you're doing. You know, the blame starts with you as a parent and as a mother, because you think, oh, I've missed out on something, why didn't I pick this up sooner? Or you pick it up sooner and the establishment say, oh, we can't really diagnose that properly until your child turns 6 or 7. So you battle for years with your child to get them into somewhere where they understand you. I was lucky, I had a very good paediatrician, and my daughter started at an early education program, and so we came out of the area to Emerson, and I have never regretted a second of my daughter being here. For all her schooling life, she thrived. She started here with a group of 6 students in the classroom. She's extremely good with numbers. Her mental mass ability is incredible, almost to university level. But her anxiety kills her because we go into panic mode before it even happens. But at school here she thrived. She enjoyed every subject that was here. She played a lot of sport. But the most powerful thing your child can come home and say to you is, Mum, I made a friend today. I've got a friend. Or Mum, I've been invited to a party. Can I go? And then 2 days later, I made another friend. Whereas before, in the mainstream setting, they played on their own because the other kids shunned them. She works part-time at a local Woolworths. She's in the bakery department and loves it. It's in our local area, so she knows quite a lot of people and they know her, so as they go past it's, you know, hello, how are you today? Good morning, can I help you? She thrives. She just absolutely thrives, and, you know, she's an active member of society and she really enjoys her job. They find their place at Emerson and they put down roots and they just thrive. It really is a special place.
We started my son off at mainstream school and he just didn't cope well. I think as a parent you think that it's the normal to put them in a mainstream school, to try that, but it just wasn't the right place for him. The classes were too big for my son. It was too overwhelming. It was sensory overload and they just didn't have possibly the knowledge or the staff support to be able to give him what he needed. So it would end up he would be removed from the classroom, and then he realised that if he behaved a certain way, he got to go home. So he was never actually included in any of the classes in the school. So yeah, you just, as a parent, you realise that I have to do something different. This isn't right for my son. They're not catering for his needs. So this is where the specialist schools come in and are life-changing. He came here and it was suddenly, you could see, he went from being a child who didn't want to try anything. He didn't want to pick up a pencil because he thought he couldn't do it. Suddenly he loved school. He felt accepted. He was making friends. Suddenly he could go from being the naughty child to a child who can achieve. It was so much of a relief to be able to see him so happy, settled and accepted at school, just for who he is, for his personality, you know, and for who he wants to be. So definitely life-changing. He actually loves school now. Through my experiences with my son, I actually got into working with children with disabilities. It really inspired me to want to help other families, you know, who have been in a similar situation. My son came to Emerson School about 5 years ago. Then I obviously got this unique opportunity to also work here, and it just gives you a whole new perspective, because I knew as a parent it was a wonderful place to learn and educate your children, but to then work here, it just opened my eyes to just how much the staff do here and how much they go above and beyond, and it's a real privilege to be able to do that as well. This school was one of the best decisions we'd ever made. So it's nice to be able to use my experience in a good way to, you know, reassure other parents that this school is the right place.
Stephen was always a very talkative child, even though you couldn't understand anything he said when he started here. I think Stephen was here for probably about 3 years before he actually spoke any real words. So the transformation from before he started here to by the time he left, to the point that he has a full-time job working with a disability employer, and he's happy. Being here at Emerson, he learned how to catch transport, and he gets himself to and from work every day by public transport. Knowing that Stephen can accomplish that makes me an extremely proud mother. And the same with my son Darren. He went through some horrific situations in a regular school, and I couldn't see anybody in the school helping. That made me feel extremely anxious and concerned about his welfare. I would drive him to school in the morning and he would be saying things like, stop the car, I'm going to be sick, I'm going to be sick. Or I'd drive him to school in his pyjamas sometimes because he wouldn't get dressed to go to school. He just didn't want to go to school. He changed. After he'd been here about 3 weeks or something, I had to take him for a paediatric appointment. And he said, Mum, can't you drive faster? I'm going to miss such and such at school, you know. And he's all excited about getting to school and worried about being late. And I'm thinking, this has gone from a child not wanting to be at school because of the trauma that he was experiencing to coming here and being a child that wants to be here, doesn't want to miss a day. You know, I suddenly felt a huge weight lifted off my shoulders because of the care and attention that he was getting here. I couldn't dream of sending my child anywhere else but here, and I'm very, very confident in all the processes that happen here.
My son, Nicholas, was diagnosed at 6.5 with autism and mild intellectual disability, and so we had to find a school. We did go to the local primary school, but my husband and I, being in education, felt that it was not going to be as successful for him in a primary school where we thought he might be lashing out a bit because he was frustrated. And not fair on teachers, really, when I first started teaching. I had 36 children to begin with. Even though you did your best, I wanted something better for Nick in a smaller setting. And we knew that specialised schools had smaller settings. We came here, and this is the one that we chose because it seemed to include everyone. Nick, he was challenged here, and he achieved here. He was included here, and he loves this place. He talks about it, and yet he's been gone since 2006. He comes back to visit. From Emerson, he was able to do work experience. So he started at Wallara Logistics, packing things, preparing things for clients that Wallara have. One day he came home with an orange and blue t-shirt with the emblem of Wallara and underneath it, land management. What's this about, Nick? I'm in the land management team now, Mum. He loves it. He says he's going to retire at 65. As a parent, I'm most thankful that Emerson has given Nick empowerment. He was given the chance to give it a go. Without their encouragement, without their perseverance, without their support, if I think back to when he was young, I never dreamed that he'd be where he is today.
I had my son a little later in life and, you know, born, big blue eyes, 10 fingers and toes, you know, just perfect. He wasn't probably obvious that he had autism or hearing loss, and eventually the daycare turned around and said, look, you know, we think there's a bit of a problem. He had delayed speech. Then, you know, we went through all the specialists and everything, ended up with grommets, and his hearing came back, but unfortunately it delayed his development and his speech, so very intensive speech therapy and all those sort of things, early intervention. Because he had that delayed speech, I think that's where a lot of his anger and aggression came from. And yeah, with a lot of intervention, then diagnosed with ADHD, and then diagnosed with ASD, and then they did cognitive development delay, and then later an ID. Going through, you know, those barrage of tests and everything. But up until then I was going, no, he's fine. You know, I know what I'm talking about. I work in a special school. But yeah, it was a huge shock. When he got to that school age, that's where I really weighed up all my different options. And there wasn't even a second thought of him going to mainstream secondary. He wouldn't have been able to survive, academically as well as socially. And I didn't want him ever to come home from school and say, Mum, I hate it. When he came here, you know, he just blossomed. It was a different type of Lockie. To probably tell you, after 6 months, he went off his Ritalin because he was ADHD, and he'd been on since he was, you know, 6 years old. And we never looked back. His self-esteem, with all the different things that this school offers, it just blossomed. He's valued. I'm starting to get a bit emotional, I'm sorry. Yeah, he's just one of the happiest young men I know. He's now 17. He's still got this year and next year to go. But if I didn't choose a specialist school for him, I know he would have gone down a totally different path. To the staff, to the leadership team, to the principal, I truly am thankful that Lockie came here. He has unlocked his potential.
My son Eugene Tam was diagnosed with moderate autistic and intellectual disability. When Eugene, 6 years old, prep, he was on the mainstream school. Even though he have a teacher A, but he still can't join in the group, in the class. He's not sit well. He will run off from the classroom. He will lie on the floor. He always think about no one accept me. Teacher not accept me. No, in the classroom, no friend accept me. What point we send our kids to the mainstream school? We want our kids growing up with happy, then he will learn. So after the whole year for the prep, I think that mainstream school is not suitable for Eugene, and we come to the Emerson School. Once he come to the Emerson School, he's happy because it's small class. The teacher is very patient and very friendly. That's why I'm no regret transfer Eugene from mainstream to the special school. Now he grown up, he's 18 now. He can reading now, he can writing. What he learned. Special school is very, very important to the special needs.
Emerson, Mr. Mooney, he knows that our kids got their own potential. That's why what the structure they're doing for every kid, every different goal, like Eugene love music. They do have a music class for them. He play piano, singing, he do a performance. That's why they got a different kind of activity and classroom to let our kids to join in. This school is very different from other special schools. All our kids got own potential on it. Only this school can see potential within. Now he going to the day program because he's finished school. So at the moment he go 3 days for the day programs and then 2 days for the supporting employment. Mr. Mooney is a very kind person. He helped our family a lot. My family facing immigration deporting. On that time I see Mr. Mooney, we already got a ticket to show the immigration. We have to leave Australia this Friday. So because Eugene is special needs, he's less help in Malaysia because the special need education is less. Thanks God, Mr. Mooney. He do a lot of helping documentation to help us. And then finally, we stay here. We thought that we need to go home. But thanks God, Mr. Mooney to helping me. That's why every year I come back to visit Mr. Mooney. He's a very, very kind person. He's a very busy person, but he's still helping. Even though we leave the school, but he's still helping our experience here. He's care about our kids all the time. This is a special school. It's very, very good, Emerson.
What parents need to know is that if your child has a learning difficulty, they're going to learn the right way to learn here at Emerson, because Emerson take the time to learn about your child. They're going to get the attention that they need. So not like in a regular school where kids that have individual learning needs, they just fall through the cracks.
The stigma that the specialist schools had, I don't believe exists anymore. I know some parents, when they've come for tours and because the school has pushed them, for their child to at least have a look, they're so surprised, It's like, oh, wow, if I knew about this school, I would have, come many, many years ago.
I think as a parent, you always wonder if they're going to make friends, be social. Here, it's a huge part. They encourage that social side, the emotional, social well-being, very important.
We want to help our kids in the happy environment, happy life. Maybe in the mainstream school, he at the last. But from you come to the special school, maybe you are the good leader.
As a parent, I felt really supported. If I had a query, if I had to come and see someone, we were always welcomed. It was like your second family.
To go from being a parent and then to come here and work here, it just reaffirms how good this school is and how much they will do for children and students. And it just gives me that confidence to know that my son is in the best place he can possibly be.
With everything that goes on here at Emerson, I wouldn't say we're miracle workers, but I really do believe that we can change a student's life.
It's changed our lives, definitely, for the better. I see a really bright future now, and before I didn't know where it was going to go. And Emerson has just set that up for life.
You have to have an option for the parents to choose whether mainstream or the special school.
Thank God for Emerson. Absolutely thank God for Emerson. I'm sure every parent whose child's been here, every parent who's here now, and the ones who are coming in the future will say the same thing. Thank God for Emerson, because it gives our child a future.
It's an amazing place that changes lives for the better. and performs miracles every day.
We do what we do because we love it. You know, we want to make a difference in the students' lives.
I suppose I'm thankful to be part of a team that is changing students' lives, part of a team that work together to achieve things that aren't always measurable.
The power that you can have on a young mind, it's just unbelievable. And I'm not talking just the academic side of teaching them to read or do calculus or whatever, but it's that social side as well.
I think everyone who is here or who comes here, you can just feel the passion. There's just this passion to, do the best for these kids. There's a lot of inspiring people here, so I just feel that brings up everyone else to want to, be their best.
I'm thankful for Emerson School. As a whole, I'm thankful for every staff member in the school. They do an amazing job. They support every child who comes through here, and the most amazing thing is that the students come back and tell Mr. Mooney what they're doing, and they go around and they say hello to the staff, and the staff remember them.
Many of them own their own homes, own their own cars, are married, have got kids. You could be living next door to a child that had started, here at Emerson, and you wouldn't even know. And I think that's what is truly, truly inspiring, that you don't know, really, if you're walking down the street, that a child comes to Emerson.
I think we're really lucky to have special schools like this, not just Victoria, but in the other states that have special schools, because they've got the solutions to solve the problem and they'll do whatever it takes. Because this school is a really successful, strong, positive, helpful school. And I'm just also grateful that they haven't forgotten about me. I appreciate everyone, I miss everyone. Emerson is my home.
And one of the students has gone on to be an Olympian from this school. He's an amazing young man, runs his own business, he's a qualified cabinet maker. He never forgets where he came from. He comes back to Emerson. When he got his uniform to go to the Olympics, he brought it to school. Friday assembly, up on the stage, showed the kids, showed the students, and he was always telling them, make the most of every opportunity you get here because this school is incredible. And he came here when he was 12. Imagine what it would have been like if he came here from the start. If these schools didn't exist, where would our children be? Because they wouldn't have an education.
I don't know that the wider population actually understands just how important education is. Sure, a surgeon is important in a life or death situation, but in terms of the broader life experiences, there is nothing more important than education. It's the foundation of our society. It needs to be valued and supported in all its forms, which includes specialist education and the regular pathways.
There is a great need for specialist schools. I want the powers that be to think about the future. We don't want children that are going to be a liability to the state. We want them to be able to feel that they are upstanding citizens and able to pull their weight in this world. And to do that, we need the specialist schools.
Choice is what students and parents need, and one of those choices should be special schools, just like you should be able to go to a single-sex school or a co-ed school or whatever. Choice is fundamental to bringing out the best in the education.
Look at the data that we see and look at the successes of the young people that are progressing through our specialist schools and where they are in the future. Surely it's a wonderful argument to consider that we do need to be here.
You have to have a choice of, where you feel right to send your child to school, because a mainstream school might be right for some children, but it's not right for all children.
The world needs variety, doesn't it? So variety of jobs, or not a variety in schools.
I would never consider any other type of education for my kids. Emerson would have to be the greatest school on earth, run by the greatest principal, and I can't be more grateful or thankful.
The heart is its people. That's the thing that is beating.
The students, the staff, the passion.
It's a very passionate school community, and it's one that has inclusion at its heart.
Just to knowing that you belong and you're valued is so important. I think they're really special qualities that make us a great school.
The heart of the school is wanting to make a difference by every person, and the job of the principal, one of the important jobs, is to get people better than you, if in John's case, if that's possible. But if you get people better than you and you search them out, then you gradually build experience and capabilities to the extent that you've got a school that is superlative, as Emerson is.
Emerson is so much more.
It's more than just a school.
Emerson is more, much, much more.
It's not just a school, it's a place where we prepare students for the rest of their lives.
Emerson is inclusion at its finest. Every child is included.
It's a first choice school where you can send your child and they will unlock their potential.
It's so much more. It's so much more. It's a community. It's a place where we can be safe, be valued, and you know that people want the best for you.
It's hard to put into words, but it's a kindness and a genuine interest in the next person. And if they're sad, you want to try and make them happy.
The caring nature of the people here, the leadership and the guidance and the support. We're all here to help and listen and provide the supports whenever we can.
I think it's a community and a family.
There's a sense of family here, and it's a big family, but everyone is embraced in that family.
I can't think about any better workplace other than Emerson. It's like a family to me. I don't feel I'm working. They're part of my life. That's how I feel. And I'm lucky to have them. And I'm lucky to be here. Coming to school, feel like I'm going home. That's how I feel always.
Always welcoming. Always warm. I'd describe it as the best place you can put your child.
I think what makes Emerson School so special is its sense of place in our community. It is so confident in what its place and purpose is that it's infectious. Its sense of worth is infectious and rubs off on anybody who has any interaction with it. And I think from that point of view, we've all got a lot to learn from Emerson, and I think it's a really important place within our community to remind us all who we are.
Emerson is more than just a school. It's a state of mind. It's a state of liberation. It's a state of permission to learn the things that one may not have thought about before. And a person becomes deeper and stronger. And when you are a person that knows more about yourself, you'll be so much better to serve the needs of others.
I know a place where the sun shines every day. So come with me, I'll take you there. I'll take you there.
So we've got to be unlocking the potential of every student, and we owe it to our culture. We owe it to our community and to our planet, really.
I know a place where the sun shines every day. So come with me, I'll take you there. I'll take you